Hey, today we are talking about how to find the surface area of cylinders. We have this equation for the surface area of cylinders, and it looks kind of long, but it's just a lot of multiplying. You'll want to write kind of small on your notes today just to save room. So we're going to start off surface area equals 2 times, my next thing is pi, so 3.14, times my radius squared, so 4.9 squared, plus 2 times pi times my radius 4.9 times my height 7.8. So you see I didn't write very small, so I kind of went into the next problem. Um, so I have my whole problem set up. I just plugged in the numbers. I put 2, I put my pi, put my radius squared, my 2, my pi, my radius, my height. So first thing I'm going to do is figure out what is 4.9 squared. So remember, always do exponents first. So you get 2 times pi times 4.9 squared is going to give me 24.01. So remember that's 4.9 times 4.9. Then I'm going to rewrite the whole rest of the problem because there's no exponents there. And I might be going into the next problem. Yeah, did a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do this set of multiplication first. So these first three numbers, 2 times pi times 24.01. And when I do that, I'm going to get about 150.78. It's actually 150.7828. I'm just going to round to nearest hundredth, so you can do that as well if you have bigger numbers. And then I have a plus sign, and then I'm going to multiply these four numbers. So 2 times pi times 4.9 times 7.8. When I multiply those four numbers together, I'm going to get about 240.02. And again, it's actually 0.0216. So round to nearest hundredth if your number ends up being a little bit longer. So when I add those two numbers together, 150.78 plus 240.02, I get 390.80. So that's going to be my answer, and then since we're talking about surface area, it's going to be feet squared. So they didn't tell me what to round it to, so this is fine. If they don't say just round to nearest tenth or hundredth, I won't count off if they don't tell you. Okay, number 2, even though I kind of wrote into number 2, I can still see it. I see my radius is 3, my height is 10. So I have 2 times pi times radius squared, so 3 squared. And then plus, and then the next part's 2 pi radius height, so 2 times pi times my radius, which was 3, times my height, which was 10. So always remember, we do our exponents first, so I'm just going to figure out what is 3 squared. So I got 2 times pi. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. Please don't accidentally put 6. Then I'm just going to rewrite the whole rest of the problem because I don't have any exponents in that part. Okay. So I'm going to first multiply these first three numbers. 2 times pi times 9 is going to give me 56.52. Then I have a plus sign, so bring down your plus sign. And then multiply these four numbers together. 2 times pi times 3 times 10, which is 188.4. When I add those two numbers together to get my final answer, I get 244.92. And they don't tell me what my label is, but remember, if they don't tell you, put units, then area is always squared, so units squared. While I'm waiting for you guys to get this written down, I just want to remind you, you will not have to memorize this formula. I will always give it to you, so don't worry about memorizing that. Just remember what number you use for pi, what r means, what h means. Okay, moving down. Okay, so I'm looking at number 3. This time they gave me the diameter is 10. But I don't want the diameter, I want the radius. So remember, to find the radius, you just take the diameter divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my radius for this problem is 5. So I'm going to plug my numbers in. I got 2 times pi times radius squared, so 5 squared, plus 2 times pi times my radius times my height. So my radius was 5, my height's 21. Oops. Okay. Do exponents first, so I'm just going to figure out what is 5 squared. So remember that's 5 times 5, not 5 times 2. 5 times 5 is 25. Then rewrite the whole rest of your problem because there are no exponents there. Okay. So I'm going to multiply my first three numbers together. 2 times pi times 25. And I'm going to get 157. Bring down your plus sign. And then multiply your next four numbers. 2 times pi times 5 times 21 is 659.4. Add my two numbers together, I get 816.4. My label's feet, so feet squared. Make sure you are really writing down all of your work. It's very easy to make a small mistake here. You might accidentally plug in 10 instead of 5. So write down your work so that if you make a mistake, you can catch it or I can catch it and we can figure out how to fix it. Okay, number 4, they tell me the diameter is 4, which means my radius is 2. So I'm going to plug in my numbers. 2 times pi times radius squared, so 2 squared, plus 2 times pi times your radius times your height. Now this cylinder is knocked over on its side, so my height's actually 5.8. So again, do our exponents first. So we get 2 times pi times 2 squared, which is 4. And then rewrite the rest of the problem. Then we're going to multiply the first three numbers together. So 2 times pi times 4, which is going to give me 25.12. Bring down your plus sign. Then multiply these four numbers together. 2 times pi times 2 times 5.8, which is about 72.85. It's actually 848, so if you wanted to write down 848, that's fine. I just rounded to the nearest hundredth, so it's up to you how you want to do that. But when I add them together, it's going to give me 97.97 centimeters squared. So just make sure that you are following the formula exactly how you see it. Write it in the order that they tell you. Do 2 times pi, then your radius squared, plus 2 pi radius height. There's nothing with exponents on this right side of the problem, only on the first. So don't just randomly put an exponent by your radius because you think it goes there. My formula doesn't say it, don't put it. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to email me. I should be by my Chromebook, so I should be able to respond. Thanks. Have a nice day.